Today on Property Explained, Tim Akinusi joins us once again. And of course, we talk all things property related. We continue, in fact, our conversation around how to build your own home. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Mo, Kutso, and sure. I'm feeling for you guys, hey?
Yeah.
This is a tough one, and even you guys having to be such professionals, in spite of going through such a heavy thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate those words, Tim. It's a very difficult one. We had a very, very good conversation just the other day about how to build your home and take advantage of the returns from an investment point of view, the benefits of building your own home and the benefits of building using maybe a loan from the bank, for example. So why is this such an important topic?
Yeah, so Mo, we got a lot of inquiries last week, and obviously this topic is a very complicated and convoluted one. So we felt let's run it back again. And I guess the first thing that we need to just maybe acknowledge is that, building a house requires funding. And, when you go about doing this with your own funds, you often don't have the fiscal discipline to often see it through. And so that's why you have, a good number of homes out there. In fact, 70% of homes that are uncompleted were started by people that did not go to the banks to get the finance. And, going to the bank is one sure way of leaning on their experience and their expertise, right, to ensure that they can help you mitigate the risk of not completing this house and actually realizing the value. So they actually will help you with the, call it the regulatory risk around it, right? They'll make sure that your builder is NHBRC registered and that you have the necessary certificates from the electrical guys, the plumbers, the engineers. And that is super important because you're going to want to sell this place further down the line, and you want to make sure that you don't have those, critical things that eventually do trip you up. So that's the first part. Then the second one is that they help you with that critical part of the progress payments, right? So you have a builder who needs to obviously start the job, and that progress payment actually makes sure that the builder is held accountable for what he has built before they release the next draw. So they actually help you just manage, fight those little battles that you shouldn't be dealing with your builder, right? Because they bring out a valuer who actually independently assesses it to say, you've spent R1 million worth of builder material, and we can see the value of that. So that's super critical. And then the last part of it is that people often have this view that I will be required to pay back, what I've drawn down from the bank. And actually you're not. You only pay back the interest on what you have drawn down. Right.
Say that again, Tim. Say that again.
So basically, let's say the bank gives you R4 million to build a house, right? And now you spent R2 million. You're not required to start paying back that R2 million until your house is actually complete. All you will be doing is paying the interest on that R2 million, but not a repayment of, like, say, 20,000 Rand a month, right, until it's built. And that's important because you obviously have not started to get the utility value from that place. And it's always nice to at least just know that you have a banking partner like that can wait until the project is actually completed, and then you then start to make the repayments. And then finally, you can then register this place for a much higher amount than the loan amount that you're given.
Wow.
So if you build for 4 million, you can register 5 million, but only be accountable to pay back on the 4 million. And you can obviously make future withdrawals up to that 5 million when the place is actually built. Remember, I talked about this idea that your place, once it's built, you'll actually get that 25% appreciation on it. That's a part of that. Yeah.
So I mean, let's talk about a bit of coffee advice, Tim. There I am in my 2-bedroom setup somewhere in the country, and I want to get a bigger place. Maybe I want to have a 3 or 4 bedroom pad, etc.
Right.
Would you recommend that I go and just build my own place as opposed to buying a house that's already standing?
Right. The recommendation is that you should build, but you've got to be cautious because there are a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
Yeah. So the first pitfall is that people often don't get the ratio right between the land and the top structure, right? So you find people who they buy the land for R1 million and then they want to build for R1 million. You're not going to realize value in that case because that ratio is not right. That ratio needs to be, for every rand you spend on the land, you should spend 3.5 rand on the building structure.
I see.
So on R1 million house, you should be building, on R1 million land value, you should be building a top structure of 3.5 million rand. So you get that, and so you don't have, too much land for the top structure.
And why is the ratio like that?
So the ratio is like that because often you need to be in a position where once that place is built, similar places around it, right, that are of similar size and value, right, that your place matches up to that.
Oh, right.
So you can't go and say, you know what, I'm going to skimp because this guy has, he's bought this land. It's a really big piece of land. I'm now going to buy the same piece of land, but put up a much smaller structure and think I can get the value, aligned to what he has built.
Right.
You need to have that same ratio as to everything else around you.
Yeah,
right.
That's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next part of that is the next pitfall is the architecture. People skimp on the architectural fees. They don't get a good architect who's going to build a pragmatic place that has great design, great flow, and is functional, right? So they often spend money on like a big grand entrance and then a small sort of living space. And that's not functional, right? That's pure vanity. The next thing is you don't want to have that 30,000 Rand Carol Boyle door handle, right? I mean, that doesn't add any value to the place. So they often overcapitalize on the wrong things. So the advice is to get a good architect in who will ensure that your building is going to be built correctly because they will come in and they will be like to the builder, what I've got here on the plans is not actually what you have built. You need to fix 1, 2, 3 things. And, so that architect will often be that independent voice of reason to make sure that what you have expected to be built is actually what is being built. Okay.
So critical. Yeah. Right. Tim, I suppose this is, once again, a topic with many layers. And I would imagine there are many people who'd love to pick your brain some more on it. How do we get in touch with you since we're out of time right now?
Sure. Please come chat to us. If you're looking to build your next home, we will advise you on how to get the right builders, the right architects, and, of course, get the right funding for your place. So reach out to us on mortgagemarket.co.za or catch us on Instagram at mortgage.market. And we'll be there to guide you and help you at no cost to you.
Brilliant. Tim Akinusi, we're looking forward to our next installment of Property Explained. Such a fascinating feature, and I'm very happy with the value that we get. So many people that I bump into now and then, always allude to this segment. So, property is always top of mind for a lot of people. We appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Brilliant stuff. 7:50, we'll check in on news at the top of the hour.